You want to accelerate your sales cycle and close deals faster. Today, we're going to explore the power of deadlines in sales. This is a game changer if you're tired of prospects dragging their feet and deals stalling. But here's the thing. Most salespeople, they use deadlines in the wrong way. They create unnecessary pressure and end up losing deals. So we'll explore how we can use deadline strategies and create urgency ethically to create a win-win situation for everyone. I've personally used these deadlines, using deadlines and urgency as a strategy to close millions of dollars in sales, and I'm excited to share those with you today. So there's a little bit of psychology behind having some urgency or having a deadline. So if you think about human psychology, we are often more motivated by loss than we are by gain. And so by having a deadline, by creating some urgency, by creating some type of promotion that can be missed out on, that motivates people to want and to have something and not miss out on something, so to speak. So really, deadlines can help your prospects overcome procrastination and make their decisions more quickly. And typically, I think that the challenge in sales a lot of the times is even when our product or service is what the client needs, they're hesitant to move forward. They want to think about it. Sometimes that desire to think about it is, maybe it becomes because they don't see the value or a lack of confidence, but oftentimes there's just a fear to lose our money. There's a fear to pull out the credit card and to pay for something and to give away our hard-earned dollars, right? And so naturally people don't want to be sold, and they want to feel like it's their idea and that they made the decision. And I really believe the reason salespeople exist, the reason why we don't just send everybody to a website, give everybody a brochure, is salespeople help prospects make buying decisions. Yes or no. Like, I think you should be very happy to get a no from a prospect, very happy to get a yes, and you just don't want to get I want to think about it. I would rather hear a no and close account out or stop following up with somebody than be told, hey, let's think about it, let's keep this going. And so there's some different types of deadlines we can create. There's natural deadlines. Those are going to be deadlines that already exist, such as an end of quarter promotion, maybe a limited time offer. There's created deadlines. So we can create deadlines based on project timelines, maybe availability of resources in the market, or sometimes special pricing windows because of availability. And then there's personalized deadlines. Sometimes we can tailor deadlines to an individual's prospect's needs and their situation. And we want to make sure when we're creating urgency or when we're creating a deadline that there's some things that we can do to make that effective. And we want to clearly communicate the deadline. We want to explain the reason there's a deadline. And we want to, offer flexibility if needed. So, for example, we want to make sure if they know they have to make a decision by a certain date and time, that's very clear on what that is and what they're going to miss out on by waiting for that deadline, right? So if you only have a couple spots left on the window, the deadline could be, hey, this will close as soon as we have 2 more people sign up, right? So you need to make this decision right now if you don't want to miss out. Or it could be, hey, our company is offering a promotion through the end of the month. So if you want to have this promotion or this deal or this included benefit, you have to make a decision by Friday at the very absolute latest. If you call me Monday next week, I can't give you those things that we talked about, right? And then I think it's very important that we explain the reason for the deadline. No one wants to have a fake or artificial reason to move forward. And I think salespeople do this all the time. They come up with these fake deadlines, and there needs to be a logical reason for people to move forward. There needs to be a compelling reason for people to move forward. I have offered promotions because I've had incentives on the line. I've had a sales trip or a big bonus on the line where I've told people, look, I don't care if you do this or not. I've got a bonus I'm really close to hit, if you do this, I'm willing to give you XYZ. If not, that's fine. Just let me know because I've got more people to work with this week. Right. And sometimes just being really clear, like people want to help you. And so if they can see that you're helping them help you, like you're helping them with your product or service and it's going to help you and you're going to help them even more by giving them a discount for helping you. Like sometimes that reciprocity will help with the urgency, help move something forward. Sometimes you do have to offer some flexibility though. Sometimes there are constraints. It is important. I think most of the time we want to close the deal in that meeting where we're intended to close. And there's going to be times where a partner or maybe some type of constraint, sometimes people literally can't make the payment until you give them, 3 more days. And then sometimes maybe there's a reason to create flexibility with a deadline for somebody. So some examples of some deadline driven language is, hey, this offer is only going to be available until the end of the month. Or, hey, we've got limited availability on this product. We're coming out with a new product line. So I encourage you to place your order soon before the prices go up. If you decide to move forward by this date, we can give you a special discount. And you want to avoid using artificial deadlines. So you don't want to create deadlines or create urgency that's not based on real constraints. And you want to be transparent and honest about what those constraints are. And so it creates pressure. We can create unnecessary pressure with this if they don't feel like they can tell us no. And so I think what's important in all of this is that we let them know, hey, if you're not ready to move forward, just tell me no. That's okay. And then that releases the pressure as well, because sometimes there's just this feeling that they're going to disappoint you by telling you no. They'd rather say they want to think about it, let you out of the room, and then ghost you the next 6 weeks because they don't want to disappoint you. And so we can remove some of that pressure by letting them feel like they can tell us no. And back to this idea, though, of creating real deadlines. I think one thing we can speak to that we don't often value enough, a lot of times in sales, we're paid commission, we're paid on commissions or commission only, and we don't recognize or we don't sometimes value our own time enough. So I think it's appropriate to tell somebody it's appropriate to say, look, if you do this with me today, this is the discount you're going to get. Because if I have to come back, that's more of my time spent with you. And if I have to spend 2, 3, 4 times meeting with people for them to make a decision, then that costs me money because that greatly eliminates the amount of people I'm able to get in front of each week if I'm having to meet with people multiple times. So look, if you help me out today and we get this going, here's what I'm going to do for you because my time's valuable, right? And so there's a lot of ways we can create urgency. We can create time constraints. We can create deadlines for our prospects. And I think we can remember that people need help making decisions. And so sometimes creating a deadline, all that does is takes that I want to think about it and makes them make a decision right now. Or it can also force out any last objections that they're maybe holding back or holding on to, even when they want to do it, but maybe they've been afraid to share. And so I'd love for you to share in the comments, what has worked well for you when setting deadlines or incentives or creating urgency. And one last tip I want to give you is sometimes the greatest urgency is helping people realize that what they're doing right now isn't working, and they're going to continue to lose by doing things the same way they've already done it. So maybe that's when somebody says, hey, I need to think about this. It's saying, hey, well, what's gotten you to where you're at today? The way you've thought about things and made decisions. If you want to really change in your life, like you've got to make decisions a different way. Now, that's not going to be a conversation that applies in every sales scenario, right? Maybe for a prospect that's never used our product or service, that may not, for a consumer, that may not be something that is going to resonate them. But with a business owner, maybe helping them recognize the way they are doing their business currently and taking a long time to make decisions is what's costing them the most money in their business, and helping them see like, hey, we've got to change how you make decisions. So look, the more we can help people close the time it takes for them to make decisions, I think the better off everyone is. Making decisions quickly has often led to the most success in my life, in my own business. And I found it helps customers. And sometimes the best decision is going to be a no. And I think if we can come in unattached to the results, but more attached to helping them decide if it is or isn't for them, we're going to see a lot more success in sales and avoid the nagging follow-up game, the nagging get back to me game, and really help our prospects feel good because they made a decision one way or another, and they don't have to continue stressing about that decision. I'm Drew Norton, the Everyday Sales Leader. This is your daily dose of Sales Inception.